And watch me. Oh, it's kind of dark.
We're live.
We're also dark. Why are we dark?
Because it's just dark and twisted.
Are we dark? Hello, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, Bruno. Bruno left. He's like, nope, I'm out of here.
That's because Mommy's
He was
being
here
mean today.
I'm gonna just fix my hair now on camera.
This
is what I do. Hello.
Oh my god.
Hello. I have coffee though.
No,
she won't. Good.
She won't say hurry up and get your shit together. She'll say get your poop in a group, and then she runs off. I'm sitting over there going, dude, I peed. I'm ready, and she's like, I gotta make my coffee.
I need a fresh mug of coffee when we start these. Good morning, Elle.
Good morning, everybody. Hi, everybody. Hi, all the people.
I was gonna try and list, and then I'm like, no, because I'm not awake enough, and I'll definitely forget somebody. Why are you laughing?
Because you're funny. You're very funny.
So rejection.
Rejection. Yeah, it sucks. Okay, let's establish that it sucks.
Rejection sucks.
It sucks, but the funny. I mean, there's like. I don't know. There's like, oh, you're really violent and nasty to me all the time. I reject you, right? But unless you're doing unless I don't know. It's hard to describe. It's almost never about you.
It's true.
It is. It isn't because
it's usually about somebody else's hands.
I mean, unless you're doing something that's really inappropriate, it's very rarely you.
That's true.
And even even when it is you, it's almost always something that you can do something about it.
Also true. When it's you, you definitely can do something about it. And yeah, for sure.
Like, yeah.
This is just here so we know when we
okay, so now let's just talk shit because we established that this is not about you.
That is so we're done with the topic now. Peggy's like, well, it's not about you, so we're done with it now.
Yeah.
We're done now.
Like, no, it's fine. It's fine. Oh my god, my eyes are.
Satya.
Hi, I'm not even. Oh, Elle's here, so trouble shall be starting any moment now.
Michelle, yeah, it's really tough. It's hard to take the no's, especially when you're really invested in a yes. It's like, oh, I just want somebody to say yes.
When I graduated high school, it was right in the middle of the first big recession.
Yeah,
and it took me 6 months, actually closer to 9 months, of apply. Nope. Because everybody was out of work. I was trying to compete for jobs with people with 10 plus years experience in their field. We're talking like just simple factory work. And people had like, oh, have you ever worked in a factory? Well, no, I'm just out of high school. Well, that guy's been working and that guy's been doing factory work all over town for the last 10 years. So we're hiring him and not you.
Yeah.
So, but after like over 6 months of this, it gets to feel personal, right? Oh,
the premiere is at.
But anyway,
9. I don't know what time. 18:30. 9. Is that 9?
We're having a boring start to the day. I'm not.
What time is 18:30? 6:30.
6:30.
And what time zone are you? I don't know. That reference means nothing.
Yeah, it is 10 a.m. here.
It is 10
it's
after
10 a.m. here. That's hard. You give out a time and then. Can you open that door?
Yeah. Are you warm?
Well, my poop didn't group.
Oh, what the hell? Even.
It's kind of funny though because we get rejected for things all the time. Don't touch the buttons. We get rejected for things all the time.
I'm not touching any buttons.
And it's really hard to not take it personally. Especially like for jobs, especially when it's to work, but it's like, but I need a job. Give me a job. And then you start, maybe, and then after 30, 40 rejections, it's like, maybe it's me. And it's like, maybe it's the economy, maybe it's the field that you're in, maybe it's just maybe like.
My partner sees rejection as a challenge, as evidenced by the existence of our relationship. Your partner.
There you go.
Nice.
Hey.
Hi, Donna. You had to buy turkey feed?
Turkey feed. Where?
Donna Ozark work call.
Oh. Critter chow.
I'm being a creep and trying to figure out where in your house you are. It looks different. This is our living room.
Oh yeah, we're in the living room.
And to this side is our balcony. So we have like double doors that open up onto the balcony.
You were in the bed. The other video was in the bedroom.
Yeah, my other videos right.
We don't let you guys see anything else because our house is a pigsty.
These are the cleanly. These are the cleaner.
No, everything's clean. It's just, oh my God, we're
less
so messy.
cluttered. Also, Peggy's taken over the rest of the living room with her sewing. So we're in a condo.
So you know how condos have that dining room area? The entire dining room area and pushing a little bit in the living
A
room.
little bit.
Oh, shush. Just no, just don't. But yeah, no, rejection is it's really weird because it's so hard not to take it personally, especially when it's something that, like, if you really want to date that person, but they don't want to date you. It's like, oh, they've rejected me, and it's like, but they just feel like they're just not attracted to you, and there's a difference.
You're just not their cup of tea,
or
their glass of bourbon,
or they're you don't have the skills that they want to hire for, or the bus is already full and the driver really can't let you on because it's a safety hazard. Like,
oh, you know what, you guys? So we moved our couch back. It used to be further forward, and there used to be stuff behind it. So now it's all the way back, and we took the third picture off, the one that was like in this spot. Here's the nail for it. We took the third picture off because the couch was like bumping into it. So yeah, it does look different.
Yeah, we have a big set of double doors here that go out onto a small balcony. So we push everything back in the summertime to get better airflow.
And it's really nice because then the couch is directly next to the big doors. And so it almost feels like you're sitting outside.
Oh, I want to go to Donna's house so bad just to see all the livestock.
It's like a real life petting zoo.
It is. You live in your own petting zoo.
I really want to pet Meatloaf.
But what if Meatloaf doesn't want to pet you? He'll reject you.
And then I'll be sad.
Hey, you stupid cow. Like, literally.
Good luck keeping us on track today. It's probably not going to happen.
Oh my God, yes.
Also, I feel like,
the minute you said poop in a group.
You started the chat off on the wrong note is what happened. I think we're buffering.
Oh no, we're buffering. That's okay.
Let us know if we're buffering or if it's just us, because it might be just us. Sometimes it's just us.
No, I like Rex. Rex the goat. He's my buddy.
Who said Meatloaf is their favorite?
Barb.
Oh.
Are you guys hearing us okay?
Yeah, we're not buffering. I think we're okay. Yeah, just let us know if we start buffering because our internet's been weird lately.
Yeah.
So it's hard for us to tell.
It might be time of day because everybody else is getting up and going online.
It very much could be.
But that's okay.
Oh, good. No buffering. See, we're fine.
So I think there's two topics happening at the same time here. I think there's buffering. The word buffering. Okay. I think there's rejection.
Peggy's awake.
I think the first topic is rejection, and the second topic is not letting it affect you personally.
Well, that's the whole point. That's how you could not cope with rejection. Like that's kind of, they're all the same point. At what point do you accept that it is about you? Like, I think that's where shadow work stuff comes in. Like if you're constantly experiencing a certain type of rejection, then you may want to look at like, what is it that I could be working on to improve how I'm coming across to other people?
But there's levels to that too. Like if you're applying for jobs that you don't quite have the skills for, then take a course.
Or going after partners that aren't your type. Because it's not even just work. Like sometimes you're going after the wrong, like if let's say it's personal, sometimes you're attracted to the wrong people. So what you're experiencing as rejection is like the universe making sure you don't do a stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's how I feel.
Yeah, no, it's kind of hard that way.
Sometimes rejection is saving you from yourself, right? Like, I don't know. Well, but that's like that sort of more woo-woo way of thinking. I can see Peggy just like, what?
Well, the gears are going, right? Because like, it's okay. If I want to date somebody and they don't want to date me, that's not necessarily rejection. Now, if I don't want to date somebody, if I that's a little bit different because not everybody is everybody's type.
Michelle, the universe lets me do all the stupids with men.
Oh yeah, the universe will just let you have whatever you want if you want that.
Sometimes.
Yeah, like I mean, personal relationships are so much harder because most of us don't have, like, I don't have time for thousands and thousands of friendships.
Oh, Donna, rejection is what I call the trash taking itself out. And Heidi said, what about with family and people you want as friends? Like the thing is when people you want to, there's a thing where you can end up in a situation where you value a relationship more than somebody else values it. Or you can end up in a situation where what you want, the other person just can't give or isn't the right person to give. And so it feels like they're rejecting you, but they're still just rejecting the offer. They're still just rejecting what it is that they think they can get out of a connection with you. And that's still not you. It's like more like how you would relate or connect with that person. And even with family, nobody's obligated to.
Well, for the most part, if it's something that you've done, at some point, sooner or later, somebody's going to tell you. And as much as that hurts, you have to listen to it and go, okay, sometimes it's like, can I improve this? And this is the hard thing, because we've had talks about your personal value. Sometimes people go, you don't agree with me enough. I don't like that. And then they reject you. And that might be an extension of something that might be something that's an extension about themselves. And it's like, dude, I don't have to agree with you. So this is your issue and not mine. You're still being rejected, but you're being rejected for the wrong reasons.
Amethyst Moonstone says, how about being rejected by family over your beliefs? They're rejecting your beliefs, not you.
Yeah, it's
your beliefs aren't you. They're a part of you. They're a thing that you would like to be able to share with other people.
Well, basically this is like, okay, they've taken a stand over something they feel strongly about. It's not about you. It's about something that you can change your beliefs, or at least change the beliefs that you. So there's things that you can do about that, and then it's up to you to decide what you do or don't want to do about it. And that's where things get really, really complicated.
I think most rejection we experience, and I said this in the video, but I think most rejection we experience, we have zero control over. It's other people's opinions and tastes, and they're allowed to have those opinions and tastes. And it's one of those kind of funny things to navigate. You're going to have feelings over it. I was rejected by family for being gay. Like a family member. I shouldn't say family, because most of my family was great. But
I had a bunch of family members who were like, yeah, they were just done with me, and it's like, well, that's your problem.
But they're rejecting. That's on them. I can't control that. I can't change that. And if I tried to, I would be rejecting who I actually am in order to be accepted.
It's no, that's a layer of it.
Let's not minimize the fact that this could be devastating to experience, and often is. You're not allowed to have feelings. You're allowed to have the feelings about it. It's for me, it was like a grieving process when I recognized that there was certain. Just a second. Because you're trying to cut me off. That's what happens. Yeah,
pretty much. You go ahead. You're fine.
But so there's a grieving process when you recognize that somebody doesn't accept something about yourself that you feel like is non-negotiable. If somebody rejects something about me that is on offer, something about myself that I want to share, it's a grieving process. It's just like processing a death. It's a death of a relationship or a death of a connection.
And it's really hard, because what they've done is they have a belief and they're rejecting things that don't match their belief. And the really hard part is the hardest part is deciding what you could or should do to accommodate that versus what's in your best interest on a visceral level that is all about you.
And spoiler alert, I have rarely had it work out to try to change who I am to suit other people's tastes.
Well, there's different things, right? Like, I mean, if you have a drinking problem and your family sits down and says, you've got a drinking problem, you can't come around till you fix that. That's a really, really obvious example. And it's like, okay, it is me. And so learning to tell the difference between this is something that I should change about myself, and this is something that they are just simply refusing to accept because of something that's in them and not me.
Yeah, like basically you always have a choice.
You know that scale that I keep referring back to? There's a big scale.
Yes.
There's a big, huge scale.
Yes.
And
I'm sorry, White Dragon Flame. That's really hard. And I'm sorry, Amethyst Moonstone, that you're going through that with your family as well. It's hard because,
you know what? Coming out, no matter how supportive your friends want to be or try to be, those first few weeks after you come out are hard. And it's really, really hard to listen to some of the stuff that they say.
Well, I wanted to address both of you because you guys are both going through different things. So White Dragon Flame, you're going through it when it comes to coming out. And then Amethyst Moonstone is coming at it from a place of beliefs and family and inability to accept. And as Peggy points out, it's kind of like we all have our own things that are going to be super important to us, belief-wise, the things that matter, but so does everybody else. And sometimes those beliefs are at a clash.
But when it's your family, it gets really complicated really fast.
Yep, it does. And I think this is one of the reasons why chosen family is really important to me in my life, is because I think it's important to recognize that sometimes we need to choose the people we surround ourselves with. But like Peggy said, sometimes there's stuff there that it's a call to action on your part, or it's a wake-up call. When people are saying, if you're getting the same message from a bunch of different people that typically have always had your back, then the question is this something I should be looking at and working on? And it's still ultimately up to you. And it's kind of like, that's your process to kind of look at it and go, is this something I should be looking at? Or is this non-negotiable? There are things about me that are non-negotiable. My spiritual beliefs, my sexuality, obviously, hello, I'm married. Like, you can't reject my family, reject me.
That go away.
Well, we could, but we're not going to.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I think you need to know what's negotiable and what's non-negotiable. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Biofamily can be total shitbags.
And the reason that's tough is because biofamily, most of us are socialized to believe that biofamily is ride or die. And a lot of times they're not.
Well, but
they're just
hard.
regular people like everybody else,
but
right?
These are people that you've known your whole life.
I know.
It's basically, for me, it's like,
yes, Donna, look at that. She's just dropping them truth bombs. You have to be who you are. Nobody should have to be an actor unless they're getting paid.
Oh, yeah. Pay me. Pay me.
Applause.
Huh.
Yeah, it's just genetics, right? It's just genetics unless you've worked at the relationship or unless you're getting what you need out of that relationship.
Well, and it's a little bit, basically, if somebody says to you, I have a problem with you because of blah. Okay. So then you look at what they've said the problem is, and then you have to do the thing where you go, okay, I do, like, I drink too much and my family doesn't like that. Maybe I need to drink less, especially around my family, because they're not rejecting, but they're not rejecting you. They're rejecting a bad habit. They don't like my religion. I'm sorry. I mean, and some people may make different choices. I mean, but it's up to you to go. But this is about the topic today is about rejection, and you don't have to feel rejected just because somebody doesn't like something about you. And this is the hard trick to learn. It's like, okay, well, you don't like this thing about me. That's not always it's not usually, unless you are doing something incredibly antisocial and problematic, it's very rarely your problem. It's just something that they don't.
Let's use last week's example, because this is actually sort of tangible.
Oh,
if okay.
We're gonna refer to last week.
If Peggy, hold on, Peggy made a comment. She's like, well, what if I had a channel and I decided I was going to block anybody who didn't call me Your Highness, right? Now, that's what she's decided to do. Fine, whatever. But if she blocks me, am I going to feel rejected because she decided that I'm a piece of shit because I won't call her Your Highness? Like, no, because that's obviously her weird opinions and her I'm saying weird because I'm totally judging her in this instance. But like,
thanks.
You're welcome. But if you blocked me because am I going to feel rejected, or am I instead going to go, well, we're clearly not a good fit.
Yeah, sometimes
Peggy's blocking Lisa for not calling her Your Highness. I mean, I call her Your Highness, but
sometimes there's this concept, like, when something is not a good fit, we take it as rejection. Sometimes the other person feels very much like they are rejecting you, but the reality is that they're not. They're rejecting something about you that they don't like. And some of the things that we reject each other for are so superficial and inconsistent. Like, what somebody believes is their business. It's not my business. So it's not
their opinion is not my business.
It's not my business.
Oh boy. I shouldn't have brought up that example. Now you're ego.
I told you. I warned you. See?
Oh no, Barb! Don't do it.
They just love me and want to stay. That's fine. Okay.
Peggy doesn't know what rejection is. What are you saying?
Let's build this scale. Let's start to scale down here with, you really did screw up and it's something you have to fix. What did they reject you on a personal level, or did they reject the thing
to fix? It's always the thing. It's very, very rarely
It's very, very rarely you. It's usually the thing.
Oh God, Elle. Yeah, no.
Yeah, see, now that is her problem.
Yeah, exactly.
She is choosing to take a stand over something that is an issue that is.
It's like, it's her right it's her right to reject anybody she damn well pleases, and it's your right to go, well, that's bullshit and I'm out of here, and recognize that it's not
but
you.
She's not really rejecting. She's basically, it's like, oh no, you're supposed to pretend this is okay and you didn't do that. It's like, so it's still not about you. It's about what she wanted you to do. And that is tolerate something that you shouldn't have to tolerate. Now your uncle.
And Time Nexus also makes a really good point. There's a difference in not resonating with something about someone but still loving and respecting, and flat out pushing someone to change themselves to make you comfortable.
Yeah.
True. And there's a middle ground there.
That's a scale too.
But there's also a middle ground there between those two extremes where you can go, okay, I recognize that something about this isn't meshing, but I want to address it so that we can heal. If both people want to find a middle ground, then that can be a really healthy way to move forward.
Some people don't want to find a middle ground. It's their way to the highway.
Exactly.
And that's their issue. So it's like, okay, I'm not rejecting you. I am rejecting this issue that prevents us from finding common ground. Now,
exactly.
It's drilling down to a level of detail. So the vast majority of the time when somebody is rejecting you, They're rejecting a thing or a habit or an idea that they don't like. And that very rarely has anything to do with you. It really doesn't.
For example, if Peggy eats peanut butter and jelly, I'm not kissing her.
Yeah.
That's rejecting the peanut butter and jelly, though, not her.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a tangible, real example, though.
Yeah,
right?
I take pleasure in rejecting her right back. Yeah, there's no point. There's no point. But let's face it, if she comes around one day and realizes, oh yeah, you have every right to not want to be around this guy. Really sorry for making that a family issue. Your relationship with her will change immediately.
May change.
Well,
by that point, right?
Well, yeah, you don't. Sometimes this is too late. Nobody is rejecting me, Bastet. I am too fucking amazing to reject.
I'm only ever rejecting the peanut butter
jelly.
Don't forget to upvote.
Your queen demands it.
Wow.
But the thing is that, okay, so the end result is rejection. Or we're not going to deny there's a rejection has happened. But internalizing it, and I'm a horrible person because I was rejected, because
I missed that about
my grandmother has decided that I need to be okay with what happened to me, is very, very different than it's all about me. And we internalize this stuff because that's kind of what we do as human beings. But most of the time, when you really, really sit down, you go, this is not my problem, that this woman is not okay with the idea that I won't pretend everything's okay.
Yeah.
It's a convoluted argument.
I'm like, you were holding my hand and then suddenly my hand was coming at my face.
It's convoluted.
Yeah.
It's yeah, you're like, wait, what? I mean, it's a convoluted thing, but it really has nothing to do with you, and it has everything to do with her limitations, her view on how people should behave. So she didn't reject. Okay, there was a rejection. It did happen.
But it's not you that's been rejected. It's this thing she doesn't want to deal with that she wants to push away.
Yeah.
That's what's been rejected.
I don't want to deal with the thing, therefore I'm blaming you for it, therefore I'm rejecting you for it, and really it's got nothing to do with you.
I still don't think that I think there's basically almost no examples of rejection that are about you intrinsically. 99.99999% of the rejections are about whatever is on offer. And I think that's a really important distinction to make. I think is that we remember that it's yes, exactly. It's fear, it's avoidance. Sometimes people push us away because they're not ready to connect on a deeper level.
Like she has issues and can't cope, therefore she's taking it out on you. Therefore she rejected you.
But what about some other examples though?
Yeah. Okay. Well,
like think of any kind of rejection and just hit me with it.
Well, there's the obvious. I don't want to hire you. I don't want to date you. A roommate situation. Oh, you're my best friend. Let's get an apartment together. Oh, fuck no.
Yeah.
Oh, you must not be my friend. It's like, no, I happen to know you in the real world that you're a fucking slob you're a fucking slob. You're always late with your rent now. I don't want to, I love you. You're my friend. This is amazing. And I don't want to get dragged into this with you.
Or starting a business with a friend. Sometimes people will turn that down because they're like, I value the friendship and I don't, I value the friendship. So I don't want to go down that road because it could really damage a friendship to mix business and friendship. Dating somebody you work with. There's so many different areas where rejection shows up.
Breaking up with somebody always feels like a rejection. And it's like, but dude,
absolutely time nexus. Yeah.
This is, I dated you because I found you interesting, but I've realized I'm not physically attracted to you. So I think we should break up. Oh, you're rejecting me. It's like,
people will break up when somebody falls in love with them and they know that they don't feel the same way because they don't want to drag them along when they know they're not feeling the same intensity.
Did that.
Yeah,
I did that. I dated a boy in high school. Like by the third day,
also,
he's like,
you boys.
Wow, that was in high school. He's like, oh, I love you. And I'm like, I broke up with him, like right there. I was like, yeah, we can't date anymore because he was getting super, super, super emotionally attached. And I'm like, I like you, but
not to that level.
Well, I didn't see it. It's like, dude, I've dated you 3 or 4 times and I don't feel the same. You and I do not feel the same way. I'm not.
And you're going to get hurt. So I'm going to push you away so that
Well, that's like, I mean, but
yeah, Mimi, that's the thing. The reason we always assume it's about us is because here's what happens. We offer a thing. I tell you, Peggy, I love you. And Peggy's like, I don't feel the same way. No, so she says,
coworkers go away.
So she says, I don't feel the same way. And the first thing my inner critic says is, I'm unworthy. I don't matter. I'm not important. I'm not attractive. I'm this, I'm that. When in reality, all it was her saying, I don't feel the same way. She was rejecting the love, not who I was. She's not saying you are a bad person, you are inherently unworthy.
But you're not even rejecting that. You're like, we are not compatible.
Yeah.
We are not compatible. Now,
hi, Tyron.
Okay, like you come home and you find out that your partner is you come home and find your partner in bed with somebody else. Oh hell yes, you're rejecting them.
But you're rejecting the behavior. Again, you're saying I can't be with you because I can't trust you. You're rejecting a set of behaviors. You're rejecting a choice somebody made.
You're rejecting something that they can change. It's like, well, I no longer trust you because you did this to me, so you have to go.
But again, even if you're the person who just
what happened.
Yeah, even if you're the person who was just caught cheating, it doesn't mean that you.
Thank you, Barb. I was just about to call Elle on that. Hi.
Anyway,
I'm sorry.
What I was saying was that
establishing rank here.
Anyway, even if you're the person who just did the cheating and you fucked up, because we all fuck up, right? You're still not inherently unworthy because this person has said they don't want a relationship with you. They don't want a relationship with you at the place you're in right there because you were at a place to be cheating, to not be honest, etc., etc. That's what they're rejecting. And I think if we can just pull ourselves back and go, this is who I am at my core, and this is what's being rejected, and we can bring in that separation, everything gets easier to digest. And we're like, okay.
Yeah, but let's clarify. It gets easier to digest and sort out your own emotions.
Yeah.
It doesn't get easier to solve the problem.
And this is what I said.
And that is something
you're still going to have all of the emotions. It's like, let yourself experience disappointment, hurt, grieving. Let yourself have the real estate to give your emotions that real estate, that space to exist. But you also benefit by processing those emotions without making it about your core worth as a human being.
Yes. Like, I mean, if I come home and find you in bed with somebody else, it's like, okay, pack your shit, get the fuck out of my house. We're done. And you can, oh, I'm sorry, I won't do it again. Yeah, that's not going to fly. Get the fuck out, right?
Because in that moment, what's happened is that your core beliefs about what you will and won't accept in a relationship are at complete odds with what I'm willing to honor. You know what I mean? But again, it's the mishmash of what we both thought was acceptable behavior that was rejected, not me as a human being. Hi, Dustin.
Hey, Dustin. Hey, everybody else who came in. I glance away. I'm not trying to ignore anybody.
Bruno is laying out on the balcony right now.
But no, it's like, the thing is, okay, I come out of the closet. A whole bunch of my family won't talk to me again. Me thinking about this. Okay, well, they've rejected this part about me with that. My coming to terms with it doesn't change their behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the unfortunate reality. Yes, Siren, I'm very sorry. I love you anyway. Please forgive me. It's not about you.
So Christina said, I believe that a bit of wallowing is healthy once in a while. It lets you sink in and live it through.
It is true.
I will say that for me, how I'm going to just say this, because this was a really valuable lesson that I learned. There's processing and feeling. And for me, when it gets in, don't do it. Just don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
For me, when it gets into wallowing is when I'm taking those emotions and I'm turning them on myself as a weapon. I'm going, okay, I'm feeling really hurt and disappointed. And now I'm literally telling myself, you're awful. You're a bad person. You're not worthy. This person doesn't like you because you're trash. That's wallowing to me.
And but you know what?
That's to me.
But it's also normal because a
lot
of people recognize they're doing it and then they beat themselves up for that.
Well, hold on. Yes, it's normal to do it, but my goal with myself is to catch myself when I'm turning on myself and go, wait.
Oh yeah.
This isn't about me. This is about behavior. When you and I Peggy and I used to have little tiffs, and I would feel devastated for days because I was convinced it meant that I was a terrible partner, a terrible wife, that she was going to leave me.
Oh my God.
And that for me is where I get into wallowing because it would spiral. We literally called it spiraling. It would spiral in my head.
Oh yeah, but that's
self-flagellation.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because
how dare you tiff with her queen? You guys, you have no idea. She's so inseparable after these chats.
I'm going to buy a crown.
No, I have a tiara.
Where is it?
I'm not going to ever tell you. Also, you'd look fucking weird.
I'm tearing apart the house today.
It's not in the house. There, see? Now she has no idea where the tiara is.
I'll find it. I'll go by my own.
No. Oh, Dustin!
Yay! Thank you, my son.
Oh my gosh. Why?
But the thing is that okay, so you can be rejected for a whole lot of things. And sometimes
someone send Peggy a tiara.
all of a sudden 30 show up in the mail.
No.
So
Oh
rejection
Always
is
try to keep
a
us on
blanket term that we apply to every aspect of not
getting what
we want. So if somebody is rejecting me because they don't want to date me because they're not attracted to me, oh, well, I'm attracted to you, so that's kind of sucky, but it's not my fault. It's not because I did something
that's
wrong.
not ultimately what you want. What you wanted was for them to be attracted to you back.
Well,
so
yeah,
you actually gotten.
But it's not me as a person. It's like
Right.
it's like I'm not going to be attracted. I'm not attracted to every single woman that I see.
Thank God, because you'd be in so much trouble. Holy shit.
Yes, my lovelies. Oh my God, I get that strangling hug. It's great. She's
all mine.
Elle is going to have
in case anybody was wondering if I share, I don't.
My God. But the thing is that we are not hardwired to want to be with every single person of our preferred gender. I always feel weird saying it that way, but I don't know why. But we're not automatically attracted to everybody that we see. So if we're attracted to somebody and they're not attracted back, oh, we have been rejected. It's like, no, it's just a fact of biology that you're not. I'm not attracted to 100% of the female population. So it's a pretty good odds that the female population is not 100% attracted to me.
It's true.
Even though they don't know what they're missing out on. You knew what? Okay. Who is surprised that I followed it up with that? Like, show of hands, cricket. Nobody is surprised that I would say something like that.
Okay, hold on. Barb says it's hard to differentiate between rejection and lack of confidence.
Yes.
Sometimes people will turn you down, especially when we're talking about romantic and things like that. Sometimes people will turn you down because they're nervous or shy or, so that's the thing too.
So, but we all respond to it differently, and that
no shock here.
There's no shock. Everybody knew I was going to say something shitty like that. Come on.
Yeah, it's true.
But the thing is that we internalize this personally. If somebody fails to be attracted to us, that we are attracted to. Well, I'm sorry, but this doesn't work. That there's someone for everyone, but not everyone for you. Like, you know what I mean? Not getting the job. If I've got 10 applicants for a job, that means you've already only got a 10% chance.
If you've ever done hiring, then you know too that sometimes what you're looking for is somebody who has a particular trait that's very hard to describe. Maybe what you're looking for is somebody who is not going to want more money in a year. Like if you're a small business, but no, this is important. If you're a small business, you might reject somebody who's completely qualified because you're like, I can't afford you, and you are worth more than I can offer.
Oh yeah, I got told that once actually. It's like, no, you've got the kind of skills that you should be doing blah. But then when I went to do blah, we had that last recession, and they're like, well, yeah, you've got all the skills that we need, but this guy's been doing it for 10 years longer.
Yeah, but here's the thing: they may not tell you. They're gonna say we selected somebody else. They're not gonna say, well, you were too good for us, because nobody's gonna
none of
admit
us want to settle for what we only sort of want.
Yes,
but the thing is that rejection happens. I really want eggs Benedict. I really want to go to Bush for eggs Benedict today. You're like, no, we're just gonna settle for McDonald's because we're busy. Wow, I just got rejected. That's a rejection. Yeah. You rejected my idea.
Yeah, exactly. But it's the idea, not you.
Yeah, it's when you break it down, when you just apply a blanket term of rejection to not getting what you want, no matter how big or small it is. There's a point. Just ride this train with me. If you apply the term rejection to every single thing, no matter how big or small it is, you start to see a pattern. And when you start to see the pattern, you realize that a lot of the rejections are not that big of a deal.
That's why the weekly challenge. But wait, that's why the weekly challenge is to notice when you're rejecting other people, even if it's rejecting the person at the drive-thru asking if you want fries with your burger, right? Notice when you reject, because when you notice how often and how regularly you even mindlessly reject other people and other things, you'll recognize just how not personal it is.
Yes. No, that's what I said. So if you take every single thing coming your way and realize that it's all one form of rejection or another, you'll realize that the vast majority of little rejections that happen throughout your day, your week, your whatever, really aren't that important.
That's right.
Really aren't that important.
Emma said, and this is actually important, she said, I've dealt with so much rejection in life, so this discussion is really useful as I take it so personally.
It's easy.
Let me tell you about one of my...
Especially if you're surrounded by people who also take it personally, you start to see it as normal.
Yeah.
That's okay. You try.
Good
luck. You try.
I I want to share this because this is the issue that I've struggled with the most. Was up until Peggy, every single person I ever dated, was involved with, was attached to romantically in any way, shape, or form, cheated on me. Every single last one of them. And every single one of those times that I was cheated on felt like rejection. Every single one. And it felt like rejection because I was like, what is wrong with me that these people keep turning to somebody else? And I made it about me. And now looking back, it's like, wait.
What the fuck was wrong with them?
What the fuck was wrong with them that they couldn't just be honest with me and say it's not working out or I want something else or whatever? That was them. That had nothing to do with me. That literally had everything to do with those other people and not even a little bit to do with me. Yeah, it should have been you
rejecting them and not you feeling rejected.
And even though I ended each one of those relationships, I never felt like I was rejecting them. I only ever felt like they were rejecting me.
Yeah.
Because they were the ones that cheated. They were the ones that were dishonest. They were the ones that lied to me, et cetera, et cetera. And it's like, wait, not what's wrong with me. What's wrong with these people for not being able to be honest? And it took having somebody like Peggy in my life who's like, yeah, if I get to a point where I want to cheat on you, I would just tell, okay, she didn't say it like this, but she'd be like, I would just tell you that it's not working out and we need to break up. I'm not going to like just cheat on you.
I'm not going to screw you over. But the thing is that we see a lot of things.
Donna, you are just on fire, lady.
Yeah.
You can be the ripest, juiciest peach in the entire world, and there will still be those who just don't like peaches. It's not personal. It's just life.
You said that in one of your...
become the supportive Carol Lynch mom.
You said that just the other day in was it in one of your videos or a comment that you left?
Thought that was that's so good.
I saw that. Yeah, no, it's... I'm like, I want to make that into a shirt. make a t-shirt. Oh yeah, the supportive Carol Lynch. That's fine. We
just need t-shirts that say "I'm a peach."
Okay. But let's get down to the unpleasant side of the topic. Sometimes they are rejecting you because sometimes you screwed up. But
they're still rejecting the behavior.
They're rejecting the thing that you did to screw up and not you.
Do you remember that really dorky thing that parents say to their kids, where it's like, "You're not a bad person, but this is bad behavior."
Exactly.
That's exactly what it is.
Exactly.
That's exactly what it is.
But then we grow up and we're going, no, I'm a bad person.
Because when we grow up, people don't treat us like that anymore. People don't say, I don't say to you, Peggy, you're not a bad person, but this was very bad behavior. Very bad behavior. No, because as adults, we just say, hey, Peggy, you fucked up or you're a fuck up.
You're a jerk.
Because we don't
stop being a jerk.
When we're dealing with children, well, some of us, when we're dealing with children, we like to be a little more careful with their feelings and their self-esteem. But as adults, we stop.
It's like,
we kind of stop.
You're how old now? Yeah, you're a fucking. It's like what?
Well, look,
you just go.
The internet is the great wild west of rejection, where people are just assholes to each other all the time. Like, yeah. Anyway,
yes,
sorry.
We're the vengeful crew. No, like I mean, if okay, like we all do something.
Wait, I'm not supposed to tell children they're little shits? Oops.
Nope, that's a bad idea. But like, there are those people in life that you reject. And now this is usually based on incredibly bad, problematic behavior. Like you can't turn on the news without finding somebody that you are happy to completely reject, period, and stop. And we're not going to talk about certain of those people because that's just way too problematic. But the thing is that, so when you see that, when we make, there are people that we just don't like anything about them or who they are or what they represent. So that's a much bigger class of rejection.
Absolutely.
Those people still have friends that think they're just fine.
Absolutely.
So they are not.
Bless you.
And we can have really strong opinions about that. So then when somebody expresses a negative opinion about you, you're now sitting, you now feel like you're sitting on the same bench as these people that you have strong opinions about.
That's very true.
So it's like this whole thing. Like there's things about me that I'm a very loud person and I swear a lot. Of course, there's people that are not going to like that.
You're
about
not
me.
going to be everybody's cup of tea, and that's
absolutely
okay.
And that's totally fine.
Okay. Twist Leaf says the greatest thing of becoming okay with rejection is that it opens you up to possibility. You can then approach things with the mindset, what's the worst that can happen? They can say no, that's not so bad. Yes.
Yeah. Like
that's what I was saying in the video about if you've ever felt rejected, congratulations, because it means you've been putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
And stop. You won't get rejected if you're not trying new things.
You have to ask yourself, what is it they're rejecting? Because some people will reject you for things that other people think is your best fucking quality.
Also, if you ask for what you want, you're more likely to get what you want. Like if you can ask for what you want 100 times and you might get 99 no's, but you may get one yes. But if you never ask for what you want, you're always going to have a no.
Yeah. Well, and if you get feedback, listen to the feedback. If you're looking for that particular job and you're not getting that job, and they say, well, it's because you don't have the training. It's because you don't have the training. Now, if you keep going for 99 times expecting somebody to hire you and you don't have the right skill set, that's on you.
Maybe you're looking in the wrong place. With jobs, it's like maybe I'm looking for the wrong job. With people, maybe I'm looking for the wrong type of person.
Well, and rejection isn't always rejection. Often it's feedback.
Well, yeah, true. And also, you're more likely to be rejected
if you're scale. Remember, guys. Let's just. I love me just as I am too, Barb. Thanks. Just remember. Okay, remember every. I mean, I say this
what would
almost.
happen if I gave you a wet willy ring?
I'd probably hit yours, and they'd watch and they'd cheer.
No.
I have saliva in my ear.
Did you think I was gonna stick my tongue in your
ear? Yeah. Okay. So remember, so anybody who's watched more than one of these knows that sooner or later I mentioned that magical scale.
The magical scale.
The magical scale. The vast majority of what happens to us is on the magical scale of inconsequential. If somebody thinks I talk too fast, I'm too loud, and as a result,
I talk fast too.
I know, but if as a result they don't want to be around me, that's fine.
But that's their opinion.
Because that's their opinion.
Exactly.
Now, if everybody tells me this, then maybe I have to. It's like, okay, maybe I'm a little too. Maybe I'm over the top to the point where I need to.
Well, maybe only one person has ever said to you, "Hey, Peggy, you're a little too loud," and you realize, "Wow, I really don't want to be loud." I could get one piece of feedback that to me echoes something I really don't want to do or don't want to be, and that's the only feedback I need to want to change. Or it could be something where you think it's fine. Maybe you think it's fine and you've gotten 50 pieces of feedback and you're like, "Ooh, I've been thinking this is fine, but if 50 people have told me it's not fine, maybe it's not fine." So sometimes it's just one person. Okay, when you tell me, "Hey, Lisa, you're being a little controlling," because that's something I'm actively hang on, because that's something I actively try not to be. If she gives me one piece of feedback, I'm going to stop and go, "Ooh, let me rein that in a little bit."
Yeah, and but I'm going to interrupt you. But Mimi, we don't have a degree in anything. We just talk about basically everything, every single approach
on a scale of 1 to fuck up.
On a scale of 1 to fucking yeah.
Carry on.
We have no. You know what it is? Is that like when you go into a clinical setting, you're going to get clinical responses. Everybody has
on camera. That's what I do.
Everybody has their own reality and their own approach
and their own experience.
And certain approaches resonate with certain people, and we're very, very fortunate to have a group of people that we just resonate.
I think a part of it, you guys, is that Peggy and I have been talking about these kinds of topics for 14 years now. Because when we first started to get to know each other,
we're over communicators.
We over communicate. But here's the thing.
This is our functional dysfunction, though it works for us.
Let me say the thing.
Maybe
partly we over communicate because when I came to this relationship, I came with a shit ton of personal baggage because there was a lot of things. As I said, every partner before Peggy had cheated on me. I came with trust issues. I came with childhood abuse, dysfunction issues.
Fun.
I came with a bunch of stuff. And so we had to unpack a lot of things that unfolded through our relationship as I was learning to do things.
Yeah.
So we, from the very beginning, would sit, we would talk about topics like this for hours because it's what.
So for us, it's just situation and circumstances and a willingness to communicate for as much as take as much time as much as it takes.
We used to have an argument and literally talk about that argument and pick it apart for like 3 days. And I'm not exaggerating.
Crazy. Yeah.
Literally 3 days. 3 days of staying up late talking about it. Going out to coffee talking about it.
Basically, Lisa's background was such that most of the personal and social skills that she needed to learn, she didn't learn until she was an adult.
Yes.
So when you learn things as a kid, you just integrate it. It just becomes a part of who you are. But when you learn it as an adult, it's an entirely different process. So that's where it's kind of lucky, but not lucky because self-awareness is like Anyway, that's the segue, but thank you because it is a compliment. But no, rejection is, like I said, if 99 out of 100 people are telling me, "Wow, Peggy, you talk too fast, you swear a lot, and you're way too loud," I'm going to go, okay, I don't care. I don't have to take this personally as an insult, as a personal rejection, but it's like, well, I do want to do a little bit better, and this is something, it's not my fault. It is my problem. Can I fix it? Should I fix it? Do I want to fix it? But just remember that most of the things that we put under the blanket of rejection are actually feedback.
Absolutely.
If somebody says, I don't want to date you because I just don't have romantic feelings towards you, that is not that the word rejection can apply. Yeah, constructive criticism.
Yeah.
And some people are just not so great at communicating, and their constructive criticism sounds like rejection.
Cue the video where we talked about constructive criticism, because that even,
but
yeah, that can be just as hard to take sometimes. Yeah, that's kind of an aspect of shadow work. You realize the thing you may need to change or address, as opposed to some person just being a jerk. Well, a lot of it depends on whether.
And some people are jerks that deserve to be rejected. So when it happens to you, you're like going, "Oh my God, I'm the jerk."
If somebody says to me,
it's hard. It's really hard.
But this is the difference. If a job says to me, "I'm rejecting you because," or "we're not accepting your position because we're looking for somebody with more experience," and that's feedback. I can go get more experience, and then I can try again, right? And when it comes to personal stuff, if somebody says to me, again, it's different. If somebody says to me, "Hey, Lisa, you're a little bit too hyper and squirrely, and you talk too fast," I'm going to probably think to myself, okay, these are core parts of who I am to a certain degree, so I'm probably not going to change those, nor am I necessarily going to want to change those. But if somebody says to me, hey, Lisa, you're coming across really controlling, or you're coming across really aggressively, I know that's not how I want to be or how I want to come across.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, for me, shadow work always boils down to, is this something about myself I'm okay with, or that I don't like? If it's something I'm okay with, like talking too fast, I'm like, well, I'm a hyper bubbly person, then I'm probably going to be like, meh, whatever. But if it's about something that I don't like about myself when I do it, then I'm going to want to,
not even a little bit,
address it, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
Does that make sense though?
Yeah. Yeah. It's basically, we're basically wired to take every bit of negative feedback, every bit of reject. Okay. Oh, I have feelings for you. Oh, but I'm sorry, I don't have feelings for you, so we can't date. Oh, you've rejected. I did reject you. I rejected your advance. I didn't reject you.
It was the offer.
It was the offer. It's like, I'm sorry, I don't return those feelings. Why should I put both of us through that to try and to give it a chance?
Yeah.
Now we all have. Now some people are going to be going, well, okay, let's go on a date. Let's give it a chance, and let's give it a chance. And then they say, okay, well, I gave it a chance, and I still don't feel that way about you. Oh my God, now you're doubly rejected. But some rejections hurt like hell, but they're not rejections at all.
Time Nexus says, for me being an empath, it's hardest for me to deal with that from people I love. It's hard to separate their feedback from rejection. Took a long time to figure that out, and sometimes it's still a struggle.
I think we all struggle with that.
I was just going to say, I have to work at it every single time. It's not like,
oh yes, like the button, like the video. Your queen demands it.
Here's the thing. This is not I just said, here's the thing again.
I know, you took over my line. I got to find a new one.
For me, it's always work.
She said, here's the thing.
When I'm disappointed.
Half a shot though, because it's not me.
When I'm disappointed and I haven't gotten something that I've wanted, or I feel rejected, every single time, you guys, I have to take a second and go,
oh, absolutely.
Is this me, or is this the thing? Is this me, or is this the thing? And talk myself down.
I do too. I don't have to talk myself down the same way, but it's like, oh, is it me, or is it something about me?
I don't think there's a lot of easy switches we get to flip in life. I think we learn how to flip the switch, and then we have to go through the process every single time. And I think if you do that long enough, it gets easier and easier and quicker, but it's never, I don't think it's ever something, I think there's very few things we work on that just become instant fixes, even down the road. Well, a lot of times they always require a certain amount of effort and work and mindfulness.
And there's nothing wrong with, okay, if somebody says, oh, here's the rejection, there's nothing wrong with thinking about it and going, well, is it me in general? There's nothing wrong with giving it some thought, because maybe you will identify some things that you actually want to change.
I just had an example. Sorry, randomly back to my point. This point about how it's always work. Think about when you're really tired or run down, or when you're really cranky or you're sick and your defenses are down, and notice how you're much more likely, shut up. Notice how in those moments you're much more likely to behave badly, because you're not keeping that. We often don't notice how much work we're putting into being functioning people until something happens to affect how functioning we are, and we realize, oh shit, I didn't realize I'm such a bitch when I'm not working at it, right?
Happens.
We actually have those experiences, because it's like we forget how much work we're actually putting into being healthy, or how we process emotions and interactions until, I'm repeating myself, but I mean, I think it's a really good way to test yourself and be like, oh, I really am working at this stuff all the time. Because we take it for granted.
Well,
We're
we
like,
do.
oh, I'm just good at this now. And it's like, no, you've gotten good at working at it, but you're not necessarily just intrinsically good at it.
And we're good at some things, but we're not good at other things.
Yeah. Like some things take me way more work than others. Okay, I'm answering a question directly.
Oh my God.
See? It takes me so much more work than it would for somebody else to answer a question directly.
Oh, Viola has to go. Bye,
Thank you for hanging out with us.
This is a relatively repetitive. This is basically just pounding it into everybody's head over and over and over
Pound
again.
It into the head. Pound it into the head.
Okay. Here's the feedback nail, and here's the hammer. It's just feedback.
Yes, Elle. It's the word itself is just a tangible experience. We need an excuse to behave badly to our masks.
Yeah.
No,
I don't. I don't. No.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway,
but
both dogs are outside on the balcony sleeping now.
Oh, good.
Aww.
They like being out there. But yeah,
we're probably gonna wrap this one up soon, anyways.
Yeah. We have things. Well, it's almost 11. We've been on for almost an hour.
Yeah.
But the thing is it becomes, and again, apply the magical scale, because if you look at everything, it's like you say, hey, I want to watch this show. It's like, I'm sorry, the football game's on. I really, really want to watch. You've been rejected. You didn't get what you want. That's a rejection.
Yeah.
Is it personal? No.
No, somebody just likes football more than whatever romantic comedy you wanted to put on the
TV. Whatever. It's like, if somebody who is super into football, football.
What is even happening with my hair?
If somebody who is super into football, you're super into football, so you invite somebody to go, hey, want to come to the game? We can call it a date, and they hate football, and they're going to go, no, I don't want to go.
Unless you're real hot and they're real into you, and then they might go anyway.
Well, that's just, okay.
I'm ruining your example.
She ruined my example, and now I'm sad. Oh, I just
rejected your example.
I think I've got a scratchy voice going on today.
I don't mind.
I know you don't mind. So I also got those bug bites are still on my face. Anyway, I got mosquito bites. One there, and they're still red.
Mosquitoes.
I'm not allergic to mosquitoes. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Well, your mosquitoes don't turn into like this size.
Yeah.
Like mine do.
But I don't know, like you can be rejected. There can be somebody whose thoughts, opinions, and ideas are so opposite to everything you are that they personalize their rejection and make it about who you are as a person.
Still doesn't mean it's about you.
Well, no.
Because that's their bullshit.
And there's nothing wrong with going, oh, they rejected me. Is there something I can fix about this?
We love you too.
Oh, thanks, Donna. But no, I don't know. It kind of goes in circles, because it's like, if you're like, okay, like but most of the time, okay, like my one cousin was basically a kleptomaniac, and it got so bad that we just couldn't let him around anybody. It's like, get the fuck out of my house. You're not coming in. Oh, hey, I thought I'd drop by for a coffee. Yeah, you're not coming in, until he finally learned to stop stealing everybody's shit.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. Well, he also had other problems, and that's fine. So the thing is that, yeah, we had to reject him for our own, we had to reject, we rejected him because of the behavior. And so regardless of how well we got along with him, it's like you can't come here. We have to reject you because of a behavior that is a huge problem.
Yeah.
So it happens sometimes, but usually, even then, Leagy rock myself. even then, the vast majority of times that there is a rejection of some kind happening, it's either more about their preferences or about something that is not necessarily that big of a deal that you can change.
Yeah.
Like if your last 3 partners dumped you because you were the one doing the screwing around, then that's something you need to change.
Okay, this is going to be really controversial, but if you want to change it.
Okay. That's a separate conversation.
I have a whole opinion about.
Okay. No.
You should, but.
Okay, but there was somebody that we knew, so we won't go into details because we knew them. And yeah, they kept getting into trouble in their relationships for screwing around because they wouldn't admit that they were poly.
Right.
Oh, blah, blah, blah. So they would they would meet somebody, they would date them, they would do whatever. And then they would say, oh, by the way, I'm poly and I have another girlfriend. And the answer was always, get the fuck out of my house.
Yeah.
Now they were not honest. They were not. So once they learned how to be honest,
things changed.
Like,
yeah.
Hey, I really like you. I want to go on a date with you, but just so you know, I'm poly. Let's get to know each other and make sure that you're okay with that. Oh, okay. Things got better.
True.
Things got infinitely better for this person because They didn't have to change who they were. They had to change their approach.
How they were approaching it. Yeah.
So they were being rejected. They were being rejected based on a behavior.
True.
That they. So yeah. Okay. So that's a really extreme example. So yes, sometimes it's about something that. But it's even then,
even in the most personal examples,
it's usually about something that you can. It's almost always about something that you can change
if you want to.
If you want to,
yeah.
Or you have to change your approach. This person,
and those are only in situations where you're screwing up. Sometimes it's not.
Yeah,
sometimes
this person was screwing up because of their failure to disclose and be honest. Oh, what's that stone in your necklace?
This is an angel aura quartz, and spoiler alert, you'll see a video about this on Tuesday.
Yeah. But the vast majority of rejection is just a difference in personal opinion.
Yeah.
That's being couched as rejection. I can say to you, oh, I don't like your religious beliefs. That's not going to change how I treat you or how I behave around you. Like, okay, if your religious belief, oh, well, swearing is really a sin in my religion. It's like, okay, I'll try and swear less. That's not a big deal. I can change that for you. I won't treat you differently. But people that say, I can't have you in your life because our religions aren't the same, that's a different kind of, that's being judgmental. That's a different kind of issue that's happening. Mm-hmm. And it's got nothing to do with who I am or what I believe.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because I know that, yeah, religion is probably a bad example overall. So anybody who feels strongly about religion, please take it as the example it's meant and not a judgment. But yeah, like, I mean, we've all known people who I believe in this, so therefore I can't be around you.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, it's got nothing to do with me. It's got to do with it's got to do with their levels of tolerance. So, but again, it goes on to a scale. Right?
Everything's a scale.
Like we used to go to church with my aunt all the time.
Yeah.
We didn't see her a lot, but so we would be very quiet, polite, and respectful when we were in our aunt's church because we liked her.
Yeah.
The church was very accepting of kids like us that were just in town for a visit and blah 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 blah. So it became we didn't, and like I said, we didn't go to this church a lot, and there was no problem. And yet there's other churches that won't even let you in the door unless you share their beliefs 100%. But it happens with everything. There's people that won't let you into their lives unless you are exactly what they want you to be.
That's their stuff.
That's their stuff. They're going to keep looking until they find somebody who matches that.
Barb made us a meme about the peach thing.
Ooh, we gotta go look. I gotta go look.
We are gonna wrap this one up, you guys.
Yes.
Just ignore them. Don't say the D word. They're very content. We're gonna enjoy.
Usually by now they're content. We do have some chores to accomplish today. Nothing serious.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us. This was a really, really good one, and I'm glad this was a good topic. Don't forget that if you are in the Supportive Tarot Facebook group, you can vote on next week's topic. And as always, if you guys have suggestions for topics, hit us up in the comments after this video is done, or on the comments of the other video that I made,
Yeah, don't forget
or in the group. Or you can
you.
email me or Instagram me if you have ideas you want me to cover and you want to be super anonymous about it. But
yeah, I hope it was a good talk, guys.
Yay!
Basically, like, it's kind of hard to
juicy like a peach, Elle.
It's kind of hard to repeat the same. Well, it's actually easy. I can be a parrot, but there's very little about rejection that's actually personal.
It's true.
Being rejected for something might give you a lot to think about, but it really should never give you things to beat yourself up.
Just remember, there's the offer that's being rejected, and there's who you are. Yeah. All right, you guys, lots of love and have a really,
lots of love. Have
awesome
a great day.
And we will talk to you all again.
Barb, just so we stayed on topic today.
We did. Good.
Oh my God, that must have been so boring for you guys.
All right, bye everybody.
Bye everybody.